Does this look familiar? Large, overgrown shrubs, whether they're on the side of your house or in the front of your home, blocking the view. Hi, I'm Gary Allen. If you have anything like this to deal with, today we're going to give you a little bit different presentation, something lower, something that has good impact but less maintenance for the overall look of your home. We'll do that and more on this Designer's Landscape. This is our project today, a front yard entrance. This is where we're going to spend today's activity and presentation. Now, with the entrance to the home being so important, that's why people are critical. They want to make it the best they can. We understand that. The big shrubs I showed you, they've already been pulled out, but they were blocking the coins, the columns, the trim, the windows that come down low. We want to enhance that picture with dwarf shrubs and ground covers. Now, the two columns I stand between, so many people have a column like this that's decorative, and then they plant something linear to kind of block the column. They think it's an accent, but it's actually can be hidden. Let the column be the column. With these two pots here, a little bit of low, intermediate presentation. We want to think about color and variety, and also varieties that don't grow too big or too large, like we mentioned. Let me get my paint gun. We'll draw some ideas. What we will not do is follow the square and corners of the house or the lines of the sidewalk. We're going to use curves to make one side, the left and the right, blend together at the entrance. Now let's see if we can dot out or draw some ideas or concepts. This first corner with the downspout, the hose bib, the sprinkler head. What I like to do is maybe stack a corner with a triangle of 3 or so plants, maybe 5 if you're coming out further, but this entrance is kind of small. So again, instead of following a square, let's just think about having something round here, 1, 2, 3. Now, what I really want to achieve ultimately is having a plant variety link over the entrance like this. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to follow these exact lines, but this is a concept. You can draw this out with a paint gun, with a regular paint can, or with your hose or something like that, so you can see these lines. Also, we set up things and look at them before we plant them anyway. My next thought is to come down with another lower level or layer in front of that. You see how we're accenting curved lines on the entrance, impact, left and right. Then finally, something low. I want this very low to jump over the walkway with a little bit of a radius that swings us out and then back in. So this is the concept: lowest, intermediate, or tallest plant here. But you could actually go lower again toward the house where the tallest plant is in the middle. That way when you enter or exit, you see low and up, low and a little higher. Let's set up a few varieties. Nope, before we do that, let's talk about the varieties that we have to choose from. So when it comes to selecting plant types and varieties for your home, we talk about contrast. How can we build that in? This ligustrum, sunshine ligustrum, look at the yellowish gold foliage that it has for the landscape. Mounded and rounded. Now this thing will go 3 to 5 feet tall, so we're going to ask the homeowners to keep this pruned, keep it tight. But what a beautiful color. It's cold tolerant. Most of the plants you'll see us sharing with you today will go down to about zone 6. And so that works for the eastern United States, doesn't it? Coming on over the Daydream Loropetalum. Now the problem with loropetalums is that they grow too big. This is an intermediate grower, 2 to 3 feet high with about 3 to 4 foot width. Again, you've got that color year round, but not the big overgrowth to deal with. Another winner, if you will. Something that we want to set up and look at today, but probably not use because this is a part sun or shade plant and we've got full sun out here, is the Utopia. It's a Cephalotaxis, but this beautiful yew, nice green, fine texture, Again, 3 to 4 foot overall height, so it's a dwarf. Easy to deal with. All these plants are low maintenance. Moving on down, a variegated Pittosporum. This is Mojo. What a beautiful, nice, compact yellow-green habit and color that this presents for the landscape. Now, we were on the side over there talking about the big overgrown pits. These stay low, easy to maintain. The globular or rounded shape also makes it interesting for the landscape. Moving over to the Obsession Nandina. Oh, this is beautiful. Has an extremely nice fall color and winter color to it. But what I like is the new flush that's burgundy, ties in really well with the dark bluish green older foliage that it has. Again, these are 3 or so feet in height, so we might stack them in the corner, let the tallest one go in the back, keep them lower maintained in the front to create a stack. A couple other varieties we'll be using today is the low-growing bluish-green Blue Pacific juniper, and then the ever-popular Aztec grass. Okay, to the Encore azaleas. This is only 2 of the over 30 varieties that Encore has. They've been constantly improving these varieties to bloom. More blooms more often. Now we have passed through, this is the autumn lilac you're looking at. I don't know if we'll use that or the red bonfire I'm going to come to, but these are dwarf azaleas as well. They'll take a lot of sun, but also the part sun is good for them, down to zone 6 again. So we've already passed our spring here, so that's why you see a little sporadic growth, but we'll get another flush of blooms in the summer and then one again in the fall. Finally, for its color and fine texture, the Cordyline. Design Line Cordyline. This spiky 3 foot or so growing tall plant will be great along walls or in corners, but look at the burgundy foliage. Love it. There is something I'd like to speak about when it comes to choosing plants. We have 3 criteria: size, overall size or height, color, and then texture. Now, these I've put out here for a particular reason. You see the variegated flax, the African iris, the cordyline that I just shared with you, but also the beyond blue fescue and Aztec grass. As far as height, well, you've got a little bit of difference, but not too much. Texture, see, while color is great here between these varieties, the texture is all similar, spiky or grassy, if you will. So you wouldn't want to use 3 to 5 varieties of this type in your landscape because your texture doesn't change. Maybe just a couple, and you want plant types or varieties other than that to separate or differentiate them. Size, color, and texture. I'm headed straight for the corner with the Obsession Nandina. Now, we've got quite a few varieties here today, and we can't use them all on this project. So our goal is to set up a few scenarios to get some different looks, and you can see which you like best. I like the way this cordyline looks on the wall as a backdrop. So, one scenario here, and we used 2 different color Encore azaleas. What do you think about the autumn lilac? It goes really well with the sunshine ligustrum, doesn't it? Our fill in the corner, I put 2 loropetalum here in the pots. Now, again, one side. The other choice, we could change our Encore azalea to red, and it works really well. Changing our colors, changing our textures with Aztec grass all the way down in the front. Now, you might have caught this. I did put 2 textures together even though the colors are different. 2 out of 3 plus the sizes are different. 2 out of 3 is not bad. But we have something else in mind. Let's set up scenario number 2. So if you didn't see the changes as we made them, could you notice them? One thing, I put Nandina, the Obsession, in here, these pots, and I don't know, I thought it would be too small, but I like the color and the texture against this column wall, against the stucco. Looks pretty good. And what I did was take the Sunshine Ligustrum, bump it out a little bit so it does a little bit more of an arc or arch towards you, and put in the Cordyline. These colors work really well. We've got taller, lower, and then lowest are blue juniper. I like the way this contrast works well. So you see the tie-in here. I wanted to put you down line so you could see the radiuses as they kind of tie in one side to another. Behind me, as a filler, when you use curves, and especially if they flow together or in opposition, you end up with little triangular pockets. I've noticed that. So we had the Cordyline in here at first. Now we've put the Aztec, which goes good with the juniper and all, but it's a light color foliage on a light color wall. When my eye goes to the Utopia, the U in the corner, boy, what a difference that dark green makes on a light color home. Dark plant for a light background, a lighter plant, or variegated maybe, for a dark background. Those rules always work. Now, while I was setting this up, I had one more scenario in mind. Let's see. Isn't it amazing? I mean, it's fun, but you can't do this to your home when you're trying to make decisions. I know that, but I think this is the plan we're going with. The Loropetalum in the corner, because it's the bulkiest plant we have, does really well there in feathering us down. The Sunshine Ligustrum, well, it's been in every picture, hasn't it? Because we're keeping it. I love the highlight. Also, the Cordyline on the wall here on the column looks pretty good. That spiky texture. So we're coming down low, the blue juniper, and then we use the Aztec grass in front here to accentuate the curves and a little bit of movement. Also, where you are, we use the Nandina. I like it against the wall. Good color. Now, we're going to need a little while to install this. Setting it up is actually the easy part. Putting it in the ground, well, a little more work, right? Having to adjust this hole just a little bit. This is some pretty compacted earth for being in old sandy Florida. I've got a few roots remaining from the old shrubs. So I want to put my soil just on both sides, okay? So I don't want to pack it all the way around the entire hole because I won't be able to see my new desired height, which is right here and right here. Notice I dumped the fertilizer into the hole from the plant. Why not give it a little benefits of that? Every plant has a back and a front side. Watch this. Well, here's the back. You see, taller in the back. Doesn't that present better? Now also I can tilt that or lean it a little towards you. These are okay upright. What I'll do with that hole then, you can amend it, but here we use slow release fertilizer. So I'll just chip away this outside edge, loosening up the soil around it, and backfill with my excess. You can pack it with your hands, you can pack it with your feet. I can feel that existing root ball on my foot there, and I want to make sure it's flush or sticking out just a little bit, because our mulch, see, will make up the difference here with just that little bit. Perfect. So, I hope you get the point. I hope you get the picture. No more big, awesome, shrub-like plant material that takes over, hard to maintain. It's a lot of work and a lot of time. Lower plants, lower presentation, color, easier maintenance. For The Designer's Landscape, I'm Gary Allen. Thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, we'd like to thank Encore Azaleas and the Southern Living Plant Collection for some of the varieties you've seen us use here today. Thank you.